Hey, if y'all would have heard this music, I don't know if you can hear it on that side, but we was over here jamming, over here getting ready to step on Words Our Life.
Yes.
Man. Happy Sunday to all of you. Good afternoon and welcome to this True Man production, Words Our Life. I'm your host, Shelly M. And I got my returning guest. I got Michelle Nikki Glover with an E on the end. Don't forget that part. And I got
my mama E.
And I got Martina. Ain't nobody fine as me, whose skin is just like
You said it.
hey,
You
like
said
chocolate. Tina Taylor right here.
Trying to keep up with it.
Trying to keep up.
Oh, that's right.
And so, fam, before we get started, if this blesses you in any way, and if there's any part of this conversation that you know would be a blessing to somebody else, please share. It is our motto, it is our mission to ensure that nobody is left behind. So, in Words of Life, it is geared towards self-motivation. It's geared towards empowerment and being fully convinced that your words, what you say, what you believe to be true about yourself, they are life. They create your world. They result in you not only having, but becoming exactly what you say. So today's topic is so dear to each and every one of our hearts that we're going to jump right into it. Today's topic is about making cuts. It's the moments when the move to be made is all on you and the time is right now. It's not about your thoughts being in a complete alignment or your feelings being exactly where you think they should be for you to make these moves. Sometimes you got to make the move and you're going to feel every bit of it. And that's why it's without a bit of anesthesia. So we are live. Feel free to join in on the conversation with your questions and your comments, and we will be sure to add you in to try to respond to whatever it is that you have to say, or even speak on your recommendations and your suggestions as we have this conversation. So you as the butcher. Okay, so many times, especially those of us that are Christians going to church, sometimes we fall or we lean towards religion. And what I mean by that is we pray and pray and pray, Lord, take this thing from me. We standing out here like Paul, please take this away from me. This don't feel good, all that kind of stuff. But the truth of the matter is when Adam and Eve messed up, God said he would no longer do things for us, but instead we will be in collaboration with him. And so with that being not just factual, because facts are relative to time and seasons and situations, as opposed to truth, and the truth never changes. So with that being the truth, God would only do what we can't. He's not going to do what we want. And so sometimes he puts the shears in our hands and he says, I agree with you. That thing has got to go, but you're going to have to do it. How does that make you feel? And at what point in your life, at what point in the cycle of life, in the season of life, do you realize that it's cutting season for you?
Oh. You serious? Like, you go first. Like, there go that spirit. Don't start it, Tina.
Because it's a lie.
It is. Go first, Nikki. Nikki, go
I gotta
first.
wrap it all around. Like I done hit a couple of cutting things, so I'm trying to.
So, like for me, it's amazing how we'll throw a topic out there. Gotta give me next month's topic. And in between the day that I release it and say, this is what we're talking about next month, and the time that we actually sitting here having a conversation, it's amazing how he will make sure I have experiences to go along with the topic.
Okay.
So since last show,
Okay.
so since last show, it's been a lot going on.
Okay.
And initially it comes across like frustration for me. Like nothing is really going right. And then I have to take my tub moments and say, okay, Jesus, what's going on? And I have to have those reevaluation moments because I know who you said I am. So I'm holding on to that concrete I am thing. And so when these things that are going on around me, or people start acting real crazy that you could normally depend on, I have to say, is it me? That's where I start. Is it me? Or is it time to make some changes in regards to what's going on around me? And that is where or how my cutting season starts. Okay, so if I'm working towards something and it doesn't seem to flow, it's not just opposition. It's not just, do you really want it? So keep pushing towards it so I can see if you really want it. It's like it's a door, it's a wall.
setback.
It's not budging.
Yeah.
You need to reevaluate. Was that you that had that goal, that dream, or was that God? Because sometimes it could be us.
Because I done been rerouted so many times in my life. Which one do I choose?
But that's what I'm talking about. And so sometimes for me, like in those seasons, I have to say, maybe that was applicable for another season of my life, but I'm not who I used to be. And so maybe that don't fit no more. So I got to cut it. Same thing with some people. Maybe they were for a different season. And it don't mean that he won't allow them to come back.
Right.
But for right now, what one of my online pastors, Darius Daniels.
Love him.
Okay.
Okay.
Love him.
And he put it so perfectly. He said, everybody got value, but everybody is not valuable to you.
Yes.
That part.
Yes.
And it's in those seasons, the cut.
Okay.
So with that in mind, can you all share when you've realized it's cutting season?
Yeah.
And what does that look like for you? What are some of the things that you walk through internally, mentally, and emotionally before you put action to it?
Most of my cutting seasons as of now have been people. So I have the life situations, they were like intertwined with the people at that time, but it was the people that I had to let go. And for me, that's hard because I feel like I don't meet people by accident. Everybody comes into your life for a reason. So I try to hold on to them, not in a clingy way, but just to keep the growth growing. So when I have to cut off, or when I had to cut off, it was more hurtful. And I'd be like, God, I thought I knew this person, or I thought we were supposed to go this way, or I thought we were supposed to do this, and
thought it was divine.
Yeah.
Thought you set this thing up
and
to
they
be a
never
lifetime
really had
thing.
the complete thought of what I was thinking anyway. So their end goal wasn't my end goal.
Ooh.
They were just there for the
that
ride.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
See,
hurtful.
but you see what I'm so
Yeah.
when you talk about without
Stop
that
humming.
answer.
I can feel it rising.
My
You gonna turn that way? So when you talk about without that anesthesia,
Without the anesthesia,
you know,
yeah.
because you said that hurt.
And you need clarity. You need clarity. You need understanding. And then you need to know, okay, how do I do it? Because you do go back. It's a comfortable thing.
Yeah.
But like you said, God will show. It'll be obstacles. I'm thinking about, and I don't know what verse this is in the Bible where the man told him not to go help the people. And he prayed and he kicked his donkey so many times, but the angel of the Lord was standing in the road and the donkey saw the sword. He wanted to be hard-headed and keep going. I'm gonna call you.
Come on.
With it. But to where God made the donkey speak, and it's in the Bible.
Wow.
And said, why are you beating me? And I'm God has told you no already.
Ooh.
So he
We got to pull a Tim Ross.
Yeah.
Let me.
I forgot what that scripture
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Wow.
It was the angel
Wow.
in the road. He kept
Wow.
beating his donkey because he didn't want to go help them. It was a prophet who wanted him to declare against the people that he wanted to curse the people because he didn't want them gone. But they were Israel.
Okay.
They was God's chosen people. And I can't think of the prophet name. Holy Spirit, please bring it to my remembrance because that story just shook me.
Wow.
You made the donkey speak
Because
we
you wasn't
so
getting
hard-headed
it. Because
that
we
he had
so
to
hard-headed.
make the donkey speak. And he
Wow.
understood the donkey.
Hello.
So you knew all along you weren't supposed to do it.
Absolutely.
But you wanted your own thing. That's that flesh.
Yeah.
So you have to know when to say, flesh, this is not working.
Wow.
Before it gets to that point and
Yeah.
you have a donkey talking to you. Yeah, he was a
Wow.
prophet. I do know he was a prophet. And
Wow.
somebody,
That was your Numbers 22.
Okay.
I read that.
Number
Thank you.
22.
yeah,
Mhm.
thank
Number
you.
22.
Read the story, y'all. I ain't lying.
Wow. Because sometimes things will be so obvious and evident,
Mm-hmm.
but we so fearful, or we want to hold on to what we think God said so tough and so tight.
And look, let me
That we
interject one
move.
time. He asked God. He went to God in prayer. And God said, don't do it. He went back again and God said, okay, we're gone. But then God stopped him because he said, I'm going to give you what you want just because you keep asking. But it's going to be obstacles. And then he said, you weren't supposed to go.
So it's just like the children of Israel when he said, I'm trying to be your king,
Mhm.
but you keep asking.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you what you asking for, and you going to pay for it if I give it to you in ways that you don't even understand. There are times when we got to cut from these ideas
And cut and move.
and move.
Cut and move.
But that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when you got to cut and make that move.
Ugh.
Whatever it is that's attached to you that you won't make the cut for, either it's poisonous, it's already dead.
Yeah.
You
21.
It's already dead.
Mhm.
So the longer you allow that dead thing to connect to you as a live thing, what do you think it's doing to you that's alive?
Yeah.
It's not like it's stopping. It's like the ends of your hair.
And your flesh is deteriorating because you're you're not being obedient. You're
But
working.
it's eating it up. So just like the ends of your hair. And I know I've gone through it time and time again. I think my hair is long and it's really ate up.
Okay.
But I don't want to trim my ends.
Right. Clip them in.
Clip them in. And
Let it
because I
go.
never understood. They say you're gonna have to clip your ends for it to grow.
You gotta clip them.
But it's just like what we're talking about today. Sometimes you gotta clip them ends so you can grow.
Yeah. And don't walk around here with no shabby ends because I'm gonna call you out. Your head needs to be cut.
Just gonna look out split.
That's your new name. What else, Split? What else, Split?
You only get that haircut.
Come on.
Yeah.
But what you go through mentally and emotionally when you are faced with, I got moves to make that don't necessarily feel good, but they good for me.
And what keeps us attached to that we're supposed to let go?
That's what we're here to talk about. What keeps us attached to what we know we should let go of, y'all?
Fear,
Fear,
pride, comfortableness,
Lust,
Lust.
satisfaction.
Because that's the other part. There are some things. Now, if you think about the story in the Bible where he pruned, it didn't mean that what he was pruning was dead. It was very much alive, and it looked like it was even prospering.
Mhm.
But he said, I know that there's more I can get from this tree if I go ahead and I prune it.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's those things that feel good that look like, man, this got God's name all over
This
it.
is Jesus. Lord, you told me this last night.
Do
Yeah,
you
but it
hear me?
wasn't him.
But it's not. And he said, I'm gonna need you to cut what look like it's thriving for me to get more out of you. So it's like when you think your career is successful. And he said, hello. And he said, but that's not what I created you to do. Just because you good at that don't mean that that's your purpose.
And I made you good at that.
And hello.
So I know what you need. I know what you got.
I know what you
what you're
got.
capable of.
Man.
But I need you to cut that because there's more that can come from you. And you can't see it because you like, I'm on top of the world. All my bills paid. I'm able to take trips when I want to. I can afford anything I desire. And he
you're
comes
smarter than God.
and
Like,
he-
you know what?
and he said, give me that.
Yeah. All of it.
Because that's not your purpose.
Mhm.
Because that's not your purpose.
That hurt.
And you sitting up here trying to figure, but I'm able to take care of my family.
Yeah.
And he said, I understand that. Give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that. So just like the man in the Bible that said, I do everything right, sir. What can I do to inherit the kingdom of heaven? And he said, give away everything you got.
And that man turned away. He was like, Lord, you know what? He was talking to the next man behind me.
Come on.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Is that where some of us are? We say, give me that because I know what I can get from you if you give, because what happens and it confirms that's where your trust is.
And then we get to thinking, or in some cases, I've been at this too long. I'm this age now. I'm right here now. I'm just getting there now. And I feel like I have to start over. But what's the saying? One day to us is a thousand.
A thousand to him, it means nothing.
Nothing. So
rebuke your age.
it's a lot of stuff. It all depends on, do you really want to go where God take you? Do you really believe who God says you are?
Right.
And then
That's going to be Matthew 19, 21
21
through 24.
We at the Bible right here. Matthew
19, 21 through 24.
Matthew 19.
That says, if you want to be perfect, go. Sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasures in heaven. So give that up. What
Give
you
it
say?
up.
What was y'all right hand? Give it up.
Give it up.
You gotta give it
Consider
up.
those things treasures.
And that's what he's
let's
saying.
not talk
Sometimes
about
we put our
treasures.
trust in the wrong things.
Yes,
And he
we
like,
do.
I gotta get that from you. Because if I don't get that from you, I can't get out of you what I created you to be. There's a specific contribution. There's a specific function that was created before I created you. I'm gonna need to have that.
And it takes stages for me to let go. I'll be like, Lord,
That's me.
okay, I'm gonna stop doing. I'm gonna stop calling. Let's just say, I'm gonna stop calling. If they call me, do you want me to talk? Look, you said be nice, and then we back in the same place, and then it's an urgent. You know, it'll never go away if it's not right. It'll always be in the back, so you can't comfortably rest knowing God has told you to let something go, and you're still messing with it.
Wow.
So,
The thorn.
ooh,
Talk about that.
Come
thorn,
on, Mitch.
Michelle.
Which one?
anyone.
I mean, just
Pick an
one.
area.
You pick one.
Because there's so many areas that the people that are either watching now or one day will watch will be able to relate to, which
And
is why y'all
specify that
here.
it's not a person, because in your case it wasn't a person.
So I've had people, persons, and things, and you name it. One major thorn that I had was extreme need of people pleasing. And that extreme need of people pleasing has broken me in so many areas. It's like it goes, let me see. So you have this side over here of the complete people pleasing, right? And then you have this side over here of trying to be loyal.
What's the difference?
Oh, there is a difference.
Come break it down.
So people pleasing, it doesn't matter who the person is.
Okay.
It could be a stranger. You just want someone to validate
You
that you've done something that
makes
they
them
found
happy.
of value, which makes you feel like now I have value.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Loyalty, that's you actually have a love for that person, that thing, that place, to where no matter what, you ride or die. Not that they necessarily ride or die for you.
Okay.
So you self-sacrificing.
Oh yeah. It
Consistent.
reminds me sometimes of the episiotomy I had with my daughter. I didn't have any anesthesia. They just gave me a episiotomy, like we can't get her out of here like this, so we're gonna have to just go ahead and really cut you. So that's when you really catch that pain. And so you can get serious pain from both. Like I've had that issue when it comes down to my parents.
Okay.
I've had that issue when it comes down to my friends because and I'm gonna make this a quick story. God gave me permission to leave my job. He gave me permission to leave the city. He gave me permission to move out of state. He gave me permission to move into this house out there, right? The reason why was because, and I know, and I've been getting this pulling and everything, that God is about to do something different with me because I'm finally working on being obedient
Which is a hard thing.
It's so hard.
It's so hard.
It's hard, and sometimes it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like
And that'll break you down because you still
It do.
fighting. You like, you know what?
seriously,
Yeah.
Come on.
seriously,
do it.
I can't even. You ain't got enough time, and this
Yeah.
this isn't PG. This will be on. We'll talk about this on my podcast. But I didn't want to let go of anything. When God said, "Yep, all right, go ahead," He told me it was August 11th. I'm sitting in the car in front of the job,
You know the
bawling.
I remember
It
that.
was
Day and
10:35 a.m. when He
Day-
finally
day
was
and
like,
time.
Yeah,
"Let it go."
I remember that day. Yeah.
Whoa. Did it hit your heart?
What?
Yeah.
I'm literally sitting in front of my job, snotting in the car, like I can't do this anymore. I would get up every morning. I had headaches, migraines. Literally, hands would be shaking, like
'Cause
it was
a
bad.
dis-ease.
A
Yes,
dis-ease,
a
a
dis-ease.
complete
Yes.
dis-ease.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so He let me go, and He made me have to see some things.
Mhm.
He made me have to see who all I had to let go of.
Mhm.
He had to let me see the people who said, "Oh yeah, I got you." You know,
Mhm.
yeah, I took care of that, and I'm, "Oh my God, I appreciate you so much. Thank you,
I'ma
thank you,
send
thank
you a
you,
fruit basket.
man." And it's come to find out, like, well, Mom, that didn't happen, right?
Never got
But
the
never
fruit.
done. Never done.
And you are accepting all of the praise from
Wow. Knowing
me
you
for
ain't do
you
nothing.
doing what it is that you claim that you have done.
Mhm.
Hurt.
Yeah.
So what did God do? Up here, He started plucking people away. Like, can't go, can't go, can't go.
Mhm.
Pause that. Can't go.
Wow.
Cause He'll shut
Like,
it down.
down.
Everything
Wow.
around you.
Down.
Wow.
Yeah. Down to your car.
You talking about the new dent I got in it before? Okay, that's another story.
Okay.
But-
Wow.
Get down there, things are great until they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
And He had to let me see, and this is with a relative,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, you do good with visits, you do good with FaceTime,
But living here,
but this
wow.
isn't gonna work for you.
Wow.
But I needed you to see it hands on because God know me.
Mhm.
I got to experience something about 5 to 15 times before.
5 to 15.
5 to
That's it.
15.
Okay. That's a low number. 'Cause I'm
You know, but that's because I'm getting a little better.
Okay. Okay.
It's because I'm getting a little better. There's a tiny bit of healing in
I've
there.
had debates with God, like, you know what?
Oh, me and him stay at it. Like, what's the girl name on social media? Ariel Fritz. And she be like, "Well, God, can I?" And you still had this back and forth with God. She be like, "I'm gonna see for myself."
Right.
Yeah, that's me. You know.
Okay.
So it was one of those things because God knows I have to see it. I have to feel it. I have to experience that pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean experience
Yeah.
that pain before
You'll let it go.
I'll actually let it go. But this time, when I say it hurt me in a way that shut me down, and as we were saying earlier off camera, to where I had no choice but to focus on God.
Wow.
Like He snatched everybody. Like I get phone calls here and there, and a lot of times I wouldn't even answer my phone. I wouldn't respond to text. The person who was causing that triggering with me,
Mm-hmm.
I had to. Once somebody told me, like, you can just mute that text.
I'm a block queen. I'll show you how to do it in a
Mute.
second.
Like
Man.
it's like, wow. So here it is. I have people talking to me like, you sound worse than you did
Wow.
before you left.
Wow.
But you had to.
And it's
go
like,
through it.
and it is worse.
It is worse.
And then I get this call like, hey, ... And it's like, well, it can't be this. Don't want to do this. Can't have that. And it's like, okay.
And then did you feel
Okay.
better once you did that? Like,
Once you start letting stuff
yeah,
go.
that's what I remember. I was like the
Feel
freedom of
good.
it all.
Because for you and knowing you the way that I do, you had to let go of the thought that this is where I was supposed to be.
Mhm.
That part.
And so in order for you to let go of that thought so you could move forward in your destiny,
Mhm.
you had to experience
I
that.
had to
Otherwise,
because I
it's
would have
be
been
that
like,
wonder.
you coming with me, you coming, everybody coming. He like, nah, you gonna go ahead
You
and
can
get this
take a
hands
couple
on.
cruise.
I mean, but experiencing that for yourself because you was like, that's mine. I'm
Yeah.
going to where my
Own
stuff
this.
is.
Mhm.
Period.
Period. And he was like, okay.
And it's like, okay, you know, and I knew it was going to be short term.
Mhm.
Okay.
God already let me know it was a short term thing. Like people like, and I'm like, well, I'm not going forever. You know,
Right,
like
right.
I'll be back to Chicago at some point, but
But
I got to
then
do
no
this,
pressure.
this, and this.
Yeah,
And he was like, mm-hmm.
it's gonna be shorter than you think, though.
Mhm.
But
Because
you
I'm
had
thinking
to.
he was giving me 6 months to a year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
I just left in August.
Yeah.
He was like,
your thoughts are
okay,
not my thoughts. Your ways are not my ways.
girl, let me find it.
My thoughts
No,
are
they gonna
higher
pull it
than
up.
your thoughts.
Because see,
Wow.
the reason why I'm going to these verses,
His part was already done.
I gotta bring
Yeah.
that up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because people need to understand we're not being religious.
No,
Mhm.
no.
But
no.
we want you to know that you can find what we're talking about in the
In the
word
word.
because it's nothing
It's
new.
nothing
Yeah.
new. It's
Nothing is new.
Yeah.
Everything that we go
Yeah.
through now, they went through it.
Yeah.
The only difference is there was no technology attached
Yeah.
And
to
that's
it.
why it's there, so we can look back and focus
Yeah.
on it and say, you didn't think this, Lord? This wasn't you ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
And then it's like,
there.
oh, that was you, huh?
Yeah.
You just,
Wow.
oh, like the
Yeah.
way
Wow.
that God has shown up and everything he told me I was going to do down here with my business, like he didn't have me do my setup. He didn't have me start the podcast, but he had me write out every single thing
Prepared.
that it needs to be about. He
Okay.
had me
Yeah.
start creating the new t-shirts and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going
Yeah.
to link it through this here.
Yeah.
This is who you're going to
Yeah.
work with. Like he literally
But you had to
started
have that
bringing things
time.
together. I had to have
Because
it.
here you didn't have it. You didn't have the mental time.
I didn't have the mental time.
No.
And all I can say is today at church, a person God told me to step in for
Mhm.
was there with me today. That person had to leave for a minute. Somebody else sat in their seat. That person came and blessed me today.
Wow.
Wow. Favor ain't fair.
It's
Which
all
is why I say
strategic.
I have praised myself tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have literally praised myself tired today because the obedience, and that's something I have not been known for,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but the obedience that I had when he told me to do what I was supposed to do then, and to literally have someone come sit in that person's seat.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, I need you to know this was me.
It's intentional.
That ain't nobody else but me.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like,
moved
dude,
them
I'm out
the
here
way.
sinning everything, but he took me away. Like, what you finna sin with now? What you finna do? You gonna go down to the liquor store then?
Yeah, and you know when
Wow.
God
I'm finna
does
take the
stuff,
drink out
it's-
your drink. Like Pastor Glenn say his mama told him. It's like, okay. Like I'm just drink the I'm not gonna okay, Lord, I got you.
And it helps you grow as a person when you learn to cut off, because the next situation it won't be so hard
Come
to cut
on.
off.
You
see it
To the side.
faster.
Yeah.
You see it so much
Yeah.
faster.
Because you can track and trace that thing. Say,
Yeah.
I've been here before.
The same
So
old
it-
devil.
Like,
So, and even though
ooh.
the feelings are gonna still be there,
Mhm.
because you still got a soul. You still got a soul. You still
Yeah.
got ties to these things that you
Mhm.
gotta cut. But you'll be able to say, like you said, okay, this is familiar.
Yeah, I know this. I
I
know
know-
this. God, I got this.
I
I'm
got
gonna lead you on
this.
one. I'm gonna
I've
do
been
this
here,
right.
done that. And I know I'm gonna heal from this too.
And they
Oh,
get
for
bigger.
sure. And help
They
somebody
get
else.
bigger.
Oh, they get
The
bigger.
cuts get
Oh.
bigger.
The cuts get bigger.
The cuts get
The
bigger.
cuts get bigger.
Small cut.
No,
Then you go there.
no,
They
no.
get bigger.
They get
and
bigger.
bigger and
Yes.
bigger. Like
Yeah.
guys, like okay, you do past the first one. Now I'm gonna give you the
Come
second
on.
one and the third one.
Come
We're
on.
gonna see how you do, because there still be that little piece of us that be like, well, that wasn't nothing. I could do this when because I
Man.
see and I know now.
Man.
And it'd be a whole different devil.
Man.
Whole new.
A whole different devil.
And when he called us to cut, it's either purging, so more can come forth.
Mhm.
Yes.
But then sometimes it's pruning
Mm-hmm.
because we're a mess
Yeah.
and we need to be cleaned up.
I'm up in all of those.
Yeah.
I
ain't
am.
even want you to
There's
use
a
pruning, 'cause
purge
I'm
and
like,
prune.
Because sometimes he like you the purging is the getting the stuff out. The pruning is so I can get more from you.
Mhm.
But just like the movie The Purge, sometimes he like you. This cut has got to happen
Mhm.
because you all infected.
Mm.
You all infected on this. There is nothing I can pour into you
Not at all.
To
That
lead
is-
his people.
because it's not for us anyway.
Mhm.
No.
But whatever I pour into you, you yourself are contaminated. So
Yeah.
you can't even receive it in the way that I'm trying to give it to you for it to flow through you for somebody, because you a mess.
That part.
But even with that, we recognize, because we've all come to a point where sometimes we be like, I am a mess. I am sick of me.
Completely.
Yeah.
But even in those times, he say, I agree with you.
You are a mess.
You are a mess.
You are a mess, and I'm sick of you too.
And I'm sick of you too. So I'm glad again we agree, we align.
Right.
But you gonna have to make some cuts to clean yourself up, because whoever it is you talking to, they not benefiting you in where it is that you're trying to go. Whoever you hanging around, they keep pulling you in a direction that you yourself know you shouldn't be going in, but you're not strong enough to say no yet.
Yeah.
You gonna have to make some cuts even in the purge.
So
And
talk
even
about that.
And even in those situations, when you try to hang on to what he's trying to cut, you don't feel right. You're just there, just being a body.
You don't even belong there.
You're like,
you don't even fit.
I don't even like clear water. I like purified
Come
water.
on.
This too cold.
Come
I
on.
want to know.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
you in a place where you're not supposed to be, just hanging on. They looking at. They know you ain't supposed to be there.
Come on.
People know your call.
They know.
Talk about that.
They know.
And some of them get so uncomfortable with that calling on you, they got to move around.
Yeah.
Some of
Others want to try to attack to
They
see if they can
Now
get
that
you back
part.
in there.
Now
that part.
You over.
Now that part. Because you got some jealous people in your life, some true haters that will know that they are the ones supposed to tell you, go home. You're not supposed to be here.
This party ain't for
This
you.
is not for you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see you be who you called to be, because you're going to be greater than me.
And you
Or
gonna
because
mess
I'm
up
so
my crew.
lost.
Yeah.
I don't know
Talk
who
about
I
that
am.
part. Can you?
I don't know who I am. And so I don't want you to know who you are either, because misery loves company.
Oh, don't it?
Because a true friend will tell you, now look, you ain't got no business.
Why you
Even if I'm
there?
staying.
Yeah.
Even if I'm staying.
Right.
You go
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
I need you to go on the back.
I'm gonna need you to
Start
come
that
up
car.
out of here.
Start that car.
Come on.
Start the car. You got
Come
Uber?
on.
That is
Get
so
out.
huge.
Yeah,
That's
so-
true.
For me, I have to pray myself to situations like that.
Mhm.
Because you can pray and still be like, I'm going to still do it.
I'm still doing
But
it.
you got to just be like, okay, Tina, what do we do? I mean, I've
Yeah.
living out those situations. When I look back at it, it was a bunch of crying. It ain't easy.
It's not easy.
It is a bunch of crying. It's a bunch of, okay, God, well, I can't at work. It worked for such and such. And what's
Ooh,
wrong
that
with me?
comparison
And-
demon.
Oh.
Oh.
I wanted to be skinny all my life, Lord. But if you want me to be healthy and worship and teach people, I'll do it this way.
Right. Go ahead and do it like this. Man.
For real. And if you don't know who you are, which is another part of our mission,
Mhm.
You will try all these different things because they look successful to somebody, or somebody else is wearing it, and you're like, so let me try this. But
It
when
don't
you
even
get,
fit the same.
but it don't fit.
And your gifts don't make room for you.
But you
So-
gotta know who you are, so you know that those are your gifts.
Yeah.
You gotta get to that I am factor.
Mhm.
That I praise you for everything that you've gone, girl, but that don't fit me.
Yeah.
And I gotta be okay with the fact that don't fit me, and let him go ahead and blow up the I am that I am.
Yeah.
That part.
So that way I can see you gotta go, because you and what you're trying to bring, or what you're trying to infiltrate, what you're trying to pour into, what you're trying to have me hold on to, it don't go with who I am.
Mhm. And sometimes you don't even have to give an explanation. You just have to fall back slowly.
Come on.
You have to be like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna. No, not this time. No, I'm not. And then they'll know because it's already back in their head. Like, oh, okay, so she realized who she is.
That part. That part. She realizing who she
And
is.
then
realized
they be mad.
you
And then
too
they
good
mad.
for us. Yeah.
Because they gonna say
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
You
think
ain't
you all
all
that?
Right.
God ain't
You gotta go through your little.
The little, not the little. You know I hate the little.
The
I
little
can't
is a-
stand the
I
little.
try
You gonna
not to even
minimize?
say that.
You
I
gonna
see your little car
minimize?
you got out
Oh,
there.
oh.
It's a Jeep. It's a big old Jeep. It ain't little.
Man. That thing makes me hot.
You got a little change, huh? Now I want $1 million. It's not little.
Man.
Man, if that's not the
Yeah.
truth.
But that it goes back into, do you trust God?
Mm.
Mhm.
Do you trust God? Do you believe what He says?
But do you know it? Do you even know what he said? And then do you know in what he said, do you know which part of what he said applies to you? Because he said, and to one of the people he said,
Girl, if you don't get it out,
no,
telling you.
a lot of it I gotta hold on to for right now, because
I remember reading it. It was an aha moment when I read one of the scriptures where he talked about. So you get your phone ready, because I know you want to put up the word.
She is our Bible.
You know what I'm saying? This is the Bible right here in the middle.
don't find.
But
this
I
word.
remember one of the scriptures where he told somebody, he said, I said I was going to be with you the way I was with whomever, but I did say I was going to be with you the way I was with whomever.
Was that Moses and Joshua, or was that? Well, no,
I don't remember. But I know he said, I promised to be with you. But I didn't say that me and you was going to do the same things that me and her did. You got to know what did I say about you?
Yeah.
Because just because you successful in real estate don't mean that I'm gonna be. That's not your calling.
Go buy a beach house and it fall to the ground. I can't do it. Yeah.
I said I was gonna be with you, but do you know who you are, and do you know in what way I said I was gonna be with you? I'm going to blow the you that you are up, not have you looking like her. Everybody is unique, even to what you bring to the table,
Yes,
even what
ma'am.
you bring into the world. Your contribution is different. Everything about you is unique. But if you don't know that,
you will try to be like everybody else.
You try to be like everybody else.
And then you'll let people declare stuff over you that ain't true.
Ooh, Cause you just now you just a sponge. You just open. You just vulnerable.
And people be throwing their stuff on.
Do you hear me?
Dirty dog.
Want you to dress like them, talk like them.
Yeah.
They trying to make you in their image.
They ain't got their hair cut. Everybody walking around split ends.
Come on, split.
We the split ends. Ain't nothing working right.
I got to change my language, Lord. That's why I got to be quiet sometimes.
So everybody walking around with that long mushroom with the split ends. Ain't nobody right.
Ooh. Everybody in spandex. I'm like, no business.
No.
You ain't no
We ain't gonna even
business.
go there. Because I don't know how some people
You
in that span.
You ain't got no business.
I'm gonna hop back in
We
this
got a
line.
size 2, a 10, and a
And
24.
if it don't come past your ankle, it ain't gonna come past that thigh. You know that. Now, you spent 30 minutes getting one leg on. You know that's
Baby.
half the day.
Jumping in the gym. You can't pull them up.
Jumping in the gym, about to go through the floor. You gonna be down there with Satan.
It can't breathe. It can't breathe. But we trying to look alike.
Yeah.
But that's because even with that, I'm not comfortable in who I really am to be able to say, that don't fit me. That don't look good on me. It's not for me.
That's not my size.
And so I got to cut that idea that I got to be able to put on what you got on. It don't work for me.
So when we cut things off and we move to the next level, how am I like when those things try to rise up again, not the different things, but the past things, how do you stay moving forward instead of like going back like, well, maybe they've changed this time.
Oh, okay, now I understand.
For me, I believe that's why the without anesthesia is so important.
Okay.
Because as humans, having this soul, we will guard ourselves against repeating what hurt us so deeply. Sometimes we'll make ourselves remember or keep on the forefront a pain, a disappointment, and we'll say it's because I'm never going back there again. When the truth of the matter is, in that situation, there's no going back. You're still there. That's why it's so prominent, But the point is, I believe that God allows us to feel on purpose, so that when that thing try to come back, you will remember not just the acts that you went through. You remember how it made you feel. And you like, you know what? No, sir.
Yeah.
I ain't going back there. And I think that's why the without anesthesia is so important, because if I don't feel it, if I don't have no sweat in the game, there's no investment on my part.
Yeah.
I can go through this again. I mean, I ain't suffering.
I'm addicted to pain.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
That was an addiction of mine.
Yeah, addicted to pain. People, some people have it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, being hurt, and it goes with people pleasing. It does. So, yeah. but you get stronger. That's why I say you need.
If you make the conscious decision to want to be stronger.
Yeah, and you got to be around a Bible-based people in your church and in your Bible.
Yeah.
Because it's a
Can I
constant
say
battle.
something on that, please?
Yes,
Come
ma'am.
on.
Please. So, and I'm sorry, it triggered me when I heard that you have to be around Bible-based people. And the only reason why it triggered me is because there was a time in my life to where I was still gang banging. I was still in the streets.
You was gang banging?
I was still gang banging. I was still in the streets. I was still selling drugs. I was still sleeping with whatever guy or female that I want to be with
You
at the
was walking
time.
down the street like Falls Up and all that?
Well, I won't say what my gang was at the time. It wasn't that, but
Why y'all got
those
me?
who know me.
Okay. Should I scoot over?
Look, you scoot over that way, but my spirit make me get closer to her, because I'm gonna take her with her.
Lord,
take her
I'm seeing
with
a
me.
real life gang banger.
I'm taking her
Like,
with me. You know what I'm saying?
seriously.
Michelle, come ride with me. Come
And
ride
I'm
with
gonna
me.
pull up.
Hello,
Like how Pastor
hello.
was saying, you still need to have those people who still got it.
Yeah.
Got a little thug this window.
I'm one of those. Pastor already know. You ain't got to worry about nothing. But it was times like that where I wanted to have a relationship with God.
Okay.
And I would go to a church to be around the Bible-based people
And what
who
you did.
treated me horribly.
Because they saw your outside.
They treated me horribly. They looked down on me. They talked down on me. They treated me horribly.
Wow.
So what I want people to understand is everybody who loves God, who's connected to God and things of that nature, aren't the holier than thou that are going to beat you down. You'll find your people the same way you found your people in your mess. You can find your same people who've been through your same mess
That's
that
good.
know how to tell you like, okay, let me bring you this word real quick, you
That's
know?
good.
And it's like,
That's good.
okay, like, and that's what I'm loving about this new, this generation right now, that they coming out with these Christian bops where it's like, oh, you ain't got to listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of listening to this, listen to this. And it's like, wait a minute. That don't sound no different than City Girls, but it's all praise and worship.
Yeah.
So there's just different ways that you have to go about it now. There's people, get around people who have been where you are,
Discernment.
who understand, who aren't going to be judgmental because they were there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
It's
don't,
like you
everybody
said.
isn't going to be the holier than thou.
But
type.
it's your people.
Your
When
people.
you
I'm
said
glad you made that
your
point too,
people.
because they're not. We are raising up in a different generation.
Yeah. Yeah. But there is a people that God has ordained and erected just for us, for each and every stage of our life. And if you have at minimum the desire to have that support system, he'll make them evident.
Oh yeah.
The law of attraction will bring those people to you, because now you're ready. They
Sure.
say when the student is ready, the teachers will appear.
Oh
You
yeah.
see, now you're ready. And
Yeah.
and they'll come, even if it's one here and one there, but he'll have your support system, your village
At each season.
at each season,
At each stage.
at each season. So know that even in the midst of you going through what you're going through,
And they'll know
in
where
your
you are
seasons,
at that season without you telling
absolutely,
them.
because they are ordained just for you for this time in your life. They will come, and they may not always be in the church.
No.
They may because there is some religion in the church.
Yeah.
And that's just real talk.
It
And that's
is.
why you got to make sure when you're going to the church, you got to remember your why.
That part.
Remember your why. You going to get a word. You're going to be encouraged and empowered. And if you so happen to make a friend, amen. But
Yeah.
that's not why you're going.
Exactly.
Because that'll send some people left and they won't never go to the church house again.
That
And that's
part.
what have distracted most people now from the church.
But that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
You going and you looking for something that's not, it's not that these are still people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They still, there are more hurt people and lost people
That
in the
part.
church than in the world. Because you got some people out in the world that say, "Oh, I'm very clear on who I am,
Yeah.
and I ain't got no intention of
And
changing."
they actually look stronger than you.
But
and
that's
them.
what I'm
They ain't even
saying.
got the word of God in them.
But that's what I'm saying. So you got to remember your why when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I got another question. I see we've been talking.
We talk too
Wow,
much.
we've been talking. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was
And
that
her-
long.
all she did is
Because I gotta I'm trying to I'm trying to
Mm.
refrain. I'm trying to hold them in.
It's all
I'm
good.
next to
So let me ask you this, because I had a friend. I was always trepidatious because I analytical. I think too much.
Okay.
I'm the person that will
Is that
write
what
Yeah.
down
trepidatious mean? Because that was a big word.
triple. It
That
has
was a big
sounded good,
word.
yeah. So I like I
Yeah, 'cause
hesitate.
You know, everybody ain't into big words. Don't
I'm
try to
sorry,
use these big
Tina.
words, okay?
I'm sorry,
What does
viewers.
trepidation mean?
So she gonna look it up so she can read the definition. But I'm hesitant. I'm not a risk taker.
Okay.
And so I'm the one that will do a pro and con list. I'm the one that will write stuff down 1,000 times and look at it before let me say this. I used to be that person.
Okay.
And then I had a friend come to me one day and say, "Okay, Shelby, what's the worst that could happen if you just move forward?" He said, "What is the very worst that could happen if you just move forward? But you have to start over."
And it's so easy when it sounds like
When it
that.
sounds like
Yeah.
that. And I was sitting there like, well, yeah, it's like, okay, so if you try to buy this building and it don't go through,
You
so
just
what's
don't
it?
get enough.
You just, okay, so it didn't work. Okay. But because of my issue, which helped me to realize my issue was I was relating failure to
Mhm.
value.
Mhm.
So if I failed, it was like, no, you didn't fail at that, you're a failure.
Yeah.
And so that's why it would take me so long to move.
Mhm.
But when it comes to what we're talking about today, and it's time to make that cut, what's the worst that could happen?
Nothing. When you say it like that, nothing. But
Right.
you have to get to that point mentally
Yeah,
to be like, you know what, it's time.
it's time. And so, fam, I'm saying to you,
Bobby,
that are
don't leave
watching-
me. Leave me alone, Bobby. Leave me alone, Bobby. I'm gonna cut you, but just wait till tomorrow.
Too
Man,
funny.
when you are faced with that life-changing moment, what's the worst that could happen? And truly, what are your options? You can stay here and have more of what you've been going through,
Mm-hmm.
or you can take a chance and see what's on the other side. Because the thing, whatever it is, you thinking about it because it's not working.
And sometimes it's probably easier on the other side than it is where we are trying to hold on to everything around us that's not working.
Come on. So I know it don't feel good, but feelings change. That's the whole thing about feelings. You feel one way this moment, you feel another way the next moment. The feelings will change. Push through the feelings and make the cut.
And
Yeah.
that's a word I could keep. What's the worst that could happen?
What's the
When
worst
you go
that
into
could
a situation,
happen?
what's the worst that could happen?
Because you already know whatever this is not working.
Yeah. And
That's
God
what-
is with you on each decision.
Each decision.
On each decision, you can do the right or you can do the left.
Because we have taken God to some
Yeah.
places where He got his blinders on.
Like you know you ain't supposed to be. In
You know
Alex
you're not
Cole's
supposed to
place.
be.
Get
But-
out of
but that's the
Alex Cole's
decision you
place.
That's the
made.
nasty kid.
Oh, the 4-hour motel.
And I was under the L. Polish down.
Man, at the trap. Daughter, is she gone yet? And we gonna talk about it.
I mean, I'm just saying. So when it's time to let stuff like that go, because we know what's wrong is not benefiting
Yeah.
us.
If you don't feel good, stand
And you don't feel
there.
good staying in it anyway.
Uh-huh.
So
But why? Because we human, Miss Shelley.
I'm clear on that. It's those feelings. It feel good only for that moment, which is why you keep having this thought and why it won't go away until you make the cut.
It's so easier said than done.
I know, but
Oh,
it's
definitely.
it's always easier said than done.
It's like gaining weight. You didn't gain weight in a day. You're not gonna lose it in a day.
Right.
So you're not gonna be able to do
I gained all my weight in 2 days.
You know what?
I was 98 pounds one day, and the next day I was 130. And it's down, I promise you.
Oh goodness. We're gonna have to talk offline and see if that's something we can
So,
share in another one.
But this didn't
Yes.
it just happened. I woke up like, is this all me?
Like just this right here. Not the roots. Not the roots.
me.
Oh no, we don't want that. We don't want that. We're gonna rebuke the roots. Take the draws out the backyard.
Right.
No.
Yeah, take the butter out, Lord, the
No,
grease,
no, no, no.
all vegetables.
Don't eat everybody's spaghetti. You got to be careful. You got to stay away from that root.
Yeah, but yeah.
Wow.
My bad. I'm
Y'all got
quiet here.
anything y'all want to add? Well, y'all got me over here straight. choking.
Just that, and the stuff that you may be going through, don't think you alone in it. Everybody
Not at
goes
all.
through the same thing. It
Yeah.
may be different things,
Yeah,
Mhm.
different things that we got to cut, but it's the same emotions, the same
that's right.
thoughts that we could be going through the same thing, and it's just a different entity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're not alone.
you're not alone.
Mm-mm.
But
You're not alone.
and it is a hard thing to do. It's
Yeah.
not easy.
It's not easy, but it's doable. Is
It
is doable.
and it's free. It's
It
liberty
is
at
free.
the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I agree
you feel
with that.
better. You even look better.
Because you're
Ain't
not
that the truth?
stressed.
Yeah, you look
when,
better.
when that pain
Yeah.
come off, remember how happy I looked when I knew I was leaving.
I'm so she would walk around, you'd be like, you just glowing.
Like some of the pain in my right hip has started to ease. It was
See?
crazy.
Because stress
It was
is
crazy.
real.
He said, "I'm sufficient. Go on,
Yeah.
mom."
Stress is
Sufficient,
real.
Yeah.
And when we don't do what we know we should do, that's best for us.
And it affects every area of
It
your
affects
life.
every
Literally.
It literally, people be thinking it's
Yeah.
a joke. Your beans
My hair
gonna
used
come
to
out.
fall
I'm
out.
telling you.
Split
I
in,
used to
back
get
in.
split right here. I would have a
But
bald
yeah.
spot
Bald
right
spot.
here.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I mean, making cuts again is it's hard, y'all. It don't feel good, but it's so necessary.
And you gotta be.
It's
What's
so
the word I
necessary.
need? Once you make the cut, you gotta just let it go. You can't think about what was or what is. You just that's
Stand on it.
You
you
know
gotta
what? I was
stand
looking
on
for a
it.
big word, but
I mean, you
Stand
ain't
on
even
it.
got to make it
Yeah,
complicated.
deep.
You
Yeah.
just got to stand on it.
'Cause it'd
Like,
be tempting to come back.
To go back.
Yeah.
But remember what you just left, it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So why would it be working today? It wasn't
Mm.
working
It
yesterday.
wasn't working this morning.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you remember it was comfortable back there.
yeah,
It was familiar back there,
yeah.
but it wasn't working.
Especially if you're trying to elevate
Absolutely.
and you want what God wants for you, and you want to reach your destiny and your purpose.
Yeah.
It won't feel right. It'll be hard, but you can't go back. You won't fit right.
It's not gonna work. It's gonna throw you up out of it.
Mhm.
And let's be clear though. Sometimes you're gonna slip.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
But
Sometimes.
even when you, well, I was
How
trying
many
to be
times?
nice.
Come on. Tina said, you said about 5-15. She said,
No, that
no
was
number.
me trying to see if I was really ready to stop. That wasn't my slipping part. That was just, was I ready to stop yet?
So even that's the phase. Your slipping back
Yeah,
is about the same number or
Yeah.
higher.
Oh, it's way higher for the slipping back.
Because it's that's true. You going back and forth.
I don't
back and
take
forth,
Lake
back and
Street no
forth.
more, so I don't see owls under there.
Hey, whatever it takes. I mean, whatever
Man,
it
it's
takes.
like any other addict. You want to stay away
Yeah.
from what you just got clean
Yeah.
from.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some
Yes.
situations make that hard.
Yeah,
But you have to stand on
you
it.
gotta stand there.
When you ready, you gonna stand on it.
Yeah. And people
Wow.
will see you standing on it and they won't try no more.
If you actually stand.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Oh.
just keep doing it. Even when you slip, don't
Mhm.
sit down. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't waddle in it.
Right. that-
Clean yourself up. Get up and keep walking.
Because them repeated patterns is horrible.
Come
Ain't
on. But
Oh, they
at
horrible.
least when you get back up, if you can look back and say, I didn't go all the way back.
As far back as I used to.
Right. I'm not back at the beginning no more. Eventually you're gonna make it to that line to where
Mhm.
I'm not dealing with this no
No
more.
more.
Just keep getting up, keep making that cut, and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And tell God to give you the strength.
That part.
Because he got the grace and mercy
Yeah.
for you. You just
Every
have to
day.
receive it.
Every day.
That part.
Yeah, you have to intentionally receive it.
That part.
So,
Man.
oh.
Wow. That was
This
good.
was good.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
Mhm.
Oh.
That was good.
It was.
It was good.
That had
It
a
was
lot of
good.
good morsels
It
in
did.
it.
Man, that was good.
That should have been a 2-part thing.
It still can be.
Yeah, you know what?
It
You're
still
right.
can be.
You're right.
It
Well, I'm
still
here
can
now.
be. Come on now. Because you back home now.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Man. So fam, sometimes cutting off what's lifeless as well as what's life-giving is necessary so more can come forth from us. Is it easy?
No.
No. Is it always comfortable?
No.
No.
But it gotta happen, y'all. And it's so worth it. I promise you, it's worth it. Next month, we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna talk about doing it scared.
You know, you be giving me the little lame topics.
You say that every time.
I do.
And then actually we come back and you say that was lame too.
Okay, well,
Okay.
you know what? Just like, put me on standby for every topic.
We gonna talk about doing it scared, y'all. We gonna talk about doing whatever it is in your life, doing it scared.
Sometimes that is letting go.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's letting go. So remember, whereas everyone has an opinion concerning you, it's your thoughts and your words that matter the most. Your power rests at your core, and that core holds the truth of who you are, all you can do, and through what you believe, all you can obtain and become. Because this is a mission, we encourage you to not only discover, but fully embrace the I am that you are and be you authentically. That means whether you have or don't have support, no matter what the situation, the circumstance, or the opposition, you make the choice to continue to be you. And in doing so, you do it without a drop of apology.
And we pray that you had the strength to go forward, knowing you, even if you have to get up tomorrow and say, okay, this is my cutting off week.
Come on.
We pray that you have, that God bless you with the strength and the provision and the discernment to do so.
Yeah, because you can do it.
That
There's
you don't buy
nothing
that
you
pack
can't
of
do.
Newport 100s.
Man,
Come
You know
on. Come on.
What?
So you
Cigarette
done
angels
touched
are
them.
you-
You done touched them.
Oh.
You done touched them. You done touched them. You see what I'm
That's
saying,
that,
y'all?
I have my Newport 100s now. I'm gonna be honest. I don't went from my Newport 100s to zero nick vapes right now. And I'm about to come up off of that.
Amen.
You know, again,
Okay.
It's a
my
step.
5 or 15 because I
It's a
kept going.
step. It's a
I will
step.
continue to
Okay.
buy my Newports,
It's a
but
step. And eventually you're
it's
going
my
to get there.
steps.
You
Okay.
gotta know.
that's it.
That's it.
I
That's
receive
it.
that.
Come
I'm
on,
with
y'all.
See?
See that we have real conversation here. Real conversation about things that we have not only been through, but that we're going through right now.
Right.
So again, as my counterparts have said, you're not in this thing by yourself. We are
Amen.
so here for you and with you, and we hope to see you again next month, fam. Until then, we love you to life. God
Yes.
bless.
God bless
See
y'all.
y'all.
This was
That was
good.